Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Nobody got me pranked too badly on April Fool's Day, so I'm okay. Heidi tries every year. I'm just too smart to fall for it. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not it. That's not it at all. We do have a great guest coming up for our Movie Star Monday. We have TobinCosten, and if you don't know that name, that's okay. He's a newcomer to movies. He's done a lot of other awesome stuff, and there's so many big stars in this movie that he was the writer of the movie. It's called Reverend Do Wrong Ain't Right. And there's a lot of huge stars in the movie, and I'm looking forward to visiting with him to get all the details about it. It's coming out later this year, and he's in the movie, and he's also the writer of the movie, and he's also the one kind of helping put the movie together. So super excited to visit with him for our Movie Star Monday. Also, we got a quote for today. This is from Jim Collins, author of Good to Great. He says, "Good is the enemy of great." I love that book, by the way. One of my favorite books of all time. Love it, love it, love it. I'll throw a link to that book on our social media today. If you've not read that, it's just such a great book. It kind of opens your mind to not settling for good. You want to do great. Don't do good. So it's called Good to Great. Coming up, more fun stuff. It's all on the way.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Monday. It is April the 2nd. It is National Ferret Day. Oh.
I've never really liked... I don't understand people who are like, I need a ferret.
I don't know anybody that says they need one, but I think if you have one, they're adorable. National PB&J Day. So are you a fan of peanut butter and jelly?
I am.
When you make peanut butter and jelly, do you also put butter on it?
No.
So it's not butter, peanut butter, and jelly. It's just peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, right.
That I had a discussion with a friend for like 45 minutes one day about that. I get in the dumbest arguments, but he puts butter on his. I said, I've never done it that way. And he's like, oh, it's the best way.
I've heard of people
and
who
I said,
do.
So where do you put the butter then? Under the peanut butter? He goes, no, I put peanut butter on one piece, I put butter on the other piece, and then jelly over the butter. I was like, that just sounds like a mess. I don't know. This sounds...
Gotta use 3 knives.
Who knows how many? Yeah. All right. And it's also National Reconciliation Day. So all of those things happening on this Monday, the 2nd day of April.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. And listen to this from Scotland, the country Scotland. I know there are some communities by the name of Scotland, too. I just want to make sure you know where we're coming from here. A man there broke into a shed and stole inflatable jacuzzis, and he's now been jailed. The penalty was harsh because the man carried out these thefts while he was on bail after a drug bust.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
In total now, the man has stolen 3 inflatable jacuzzis as well as some Beatle memorabilia. So I don't understand how he would even know where these things are.
Well, he probably knew.
Maybe he delivered them or something.
Or he's had people talking about her.
Like, hey,
they could even be friends of his.
You looking for an inflatable jacuzzi? Yeah, there's one in my neighbor's got one in his shed. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how that all comes together. That's a weird thing to steal. I just don't understand that. Maybe there's a market for that in Scotland. I don't know. We've got your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. Former Celtics forward Glenn Big Baby Davis was arrested last month in a hotel room in Aberdeen, Maryland with more than 126 grams of marijuana. and more than $92,000 in cash. That's a little more than I typically carry. Very, very much more, because I usually don't have any cash. $92,000 in cash? That sounds like a lot. 32-year-old Davis played with the Celtics in 2008 in their championship team there. He was last in the NBA with the LA Clippers in 2015. He was arrested in February. Okay, see, I got this. These brain on drug stories, this is from back in February. So when I said last month, it's because I got this in March.
Okay.
It's April. It was 2 months ago. So he was arrested February the 7th after the hotel owner at the Hampton Inn smelled marijuana coming from the room. Police then said they found strains of marijuana from L.A. from a wholesaler there. Court records showed Davis told police he was in business with Davis. What? Told police he was in business with. Okay, the wholesaler. I got it. Anyway, he's charged with 7 counts of drug possession and distribution.
Nice.
And I'm
classy
confused because I don't think I read all of that right.
No, I don't think you did either.
But
But
I've got a link to it on our
suffice
Facebook
it to
page.
say, he's not a very good role model.
What was that first word you said?
Suffice it to
Oh,
say.
wow. It's like should
Not
be
a
our-
grandiloquent word or anything.
My
but-
wife's using $5 words today. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. Katy Perry revealed that her nickname for Orlando Bloom is Bubba-Doo. So
right.
I can't tell you my nickname for Heidi because we're on the radio. No, actually, I call you Heidi or I call you baby. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Yeah.
I called you dear one time, and I thought you were going to stab me with a
I
cleaver.
was like, do not
call me dear.
call me
I was
dear.
like, what the what? Okay.
I don't like
Don't call her dear. Tyra Banks confessed on her show that she had gotten a nose job early in her career. And there were people trying to make her feel bad about that.
Who cares?
She's beautiful.
Do what makes you
Yeah.
happy.
And here's the thing. I don't know what she looked like before. And Tyra, you probably were beautiful before. I don't think people need to do that. But if you feel
Soon
that
as
you
I've
need
got
to,
money, it's happening.
if you feel you need to do it, that's up to you. And Sharknado is coming to an end. The sci-fi film franchise will wrap up with their 6th. Are you kidding me? Is that how many there are?
There's a ton.
I am 6 films behind. In true ridiculous Sharknado fashion, the final film will see lead character Finn travel back in time to save his family. According to Sci-Fi's official synopsis, the 6th film will feature Nazis, dinosaurs, knights,
Oh, my.
and Noah's Ark.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
fantastic.
Where else can you get all of that in one movie? You just can't. So, final chapter of Sharknado coming soon. This has been Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
John and Heidi.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of firstcupisfree.com. I've got a link to this video for anyone who wants to see it, but it says here, Heineken has pulled a commercial after several internet commenters branded the commercial terribly racist. And I don't understand. Now,
yeah, we watched the commercial. I was like,
I've got it posted on our social media. Somebody has to let me know. I don't know what they thought was racist about it, so if you can share that on our social media, that'd be awesome. A bus driver in China is in hot water for posting a sign telling passengers not to spit on the floor, but please instead spit out the window. The sign apparently had passengers complaining that the sign only encouraged uncivilized behavior. The sign read, "Care for hygiene, prevent the spread of flu, please spit out the window." Yeah, I don't want you spreading the flu in my bus. Spit out the window for other people.
just say, don't spit.
That would be a better sign.
Yeah.
That's a much smaller sign, too. A German study found that playing violent video games every day does not make a person more aggressive. So they did a study to find that out. But it does make you more aggressive, if we're all out of Mountain Dew or something.
Where was the study?
It was done in Germany. It was a German
Where they're
study.
already aggressive anyway.
Would you just stop it? A Rhode Island man who once sued unsuccessfully for the right to marry his laptop is now pushing a law that would remove a filter from XXX sites for a $20 fee, saying, hey, we need to have it where...
Oh, my gosh.
for $20 a month, or I don't know if it's an annual fee. Anyway, $20, you'd remove this filter. I don't know. That guy's got some interesting
some
things.
issues.
If you're going to hang your hat on something to be known for, if you won't let me marry my laptop, at least give me this.
Oh my gosh!
Florida,
I'm sure his family is so proud.
Yeah, it's my uncle. Really? On my mom's side, my dad makes me say that. A Florida woman who was thought to be in a romantic relationship with her brother was just arrested for giving birth to her brother's baby.
Gross.
So that baby has the same person, uncle and daddy.
That is so
it's just
messed
not
up.
my kind of thing. I know if you're into that kind of thing, I don't know. I'm not into that kind of thing. An ICE detainee escaped from the FBI's custody at JFK Airport and fled the scene by hopping in a cab. Well, if we would have known it was that easy. Have we ever been to JFK when we've gone to New York through there?
Yeah. Yep.
So, is it easy to get a cab? Apparently it is.
Well, yeah, they're all over the place.
I've been to airports where it's not so easy to get any sort of...
No,
how do you get out of here?
parked out there waiting.
I got to go way out there? Okay. The Pope told the Italian mafia they cannot call themselves Christians because of the way they behave. Okay. Malaysia is proposing a new law that would sentence reporters to 10 years in prison for reporting fake news. In a completely unrelated story, CNN just closed their office in Malaysia. Just kidding. They didn't really. I'm just being silly. And now I've probably got somebody upset. Hey, I'm just being silly. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. CNN, I apologize. Did you hear about the Georgia mother who made her son buy his school clothes at Goodwill to help him get over his snobbiness?
I saw the thing online. I did not read the story, but...
He was very snobby, and he was being snobbish, as she put it, and she made him buy all secondhand clothing to get over that.
Yeah, I saw that he was bullying people, making fun of them for having secondhand clothes or
So
for
she
not
said,
having the right name brands.
Here's the thing, Mom, hats off to you.
I think that's
awesome.
amazing.
And the sad thing
you
is...
need to humble that kid
it's
a bit.
made it national news.
Yep, that's huge. I think that's awesome.
So I kind of feel bad for that kid now, because no,
I don't.
just kind of feel like we're bullying him. Because the good news is, even though the names were in the story, I didn't say who it was. So I just said, from Georgia. That's it, period.
I think it's fantastic. Good for her. So that is good parenting.
One last story. A high school senior and licensed pilot from Tennessee decided to take his girlfriend flying with one thing in mind, to ask her to prom. And there's a video of the... So if she would have said no, it's like, well...
There was an unfortunate accident today on the plane, and she
never did
fell
learn
out.
to land. No, it's really cool. It's an awesome... This was almost my good news for today, but I've got so many great good news stories. I'm like, I'm going to share that here. So we've got kind of extra good news, but that's on our Facebook page as well. You can see the video. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. It's another Movie Star Monday, and I'm excited to visit with TobinCosten. He's got a movie that's coming out this summer. It's called The Reverend Do Wrong Ain't Right. Now, you're going to be playing one of the parts in the movie. What is your character that's in the movie?
My character's name is Deacon Hot Hands. He's kind of a sidekick to Reverend Do Wrong. Both of these guys are always getting into trouble. They're always trying to find an angle to make money and figure out how they can make more money do more with less. So it's exciting times to be a part of the project and actually to write this story and be an executive producer and star in this story. It's fantastic.
Now, there's a big, long list of other people that are involved in this with you. Who are some of the other people that are in this movie with you?
Well, yeah, the Mixon brothers, Jared and Jamal Mixon, known for The Nutty Professor, and known for Old School. If you've seen the movie Old School with Will Ferrell, Jared's in that movie. Jamal's in the Nutty Professor, and these guys are well known. The rapper Yo-Yo Yolanda Whitaker has been in the movie Friday, and she's a platinum-selling artist and has worked with the likes of Ice Cube. She's in the movie. Victor Tagunde, who was in Can't Hardly Wait and Crimson Tide, he's also the star of the movie. Billy Brown is also an individual who's been in a ton of things and known for being in a ton of soap operas, from from General Hospital all the way to 90210. He's in the movie. So there's several different character actors that you'll see in this movie, and you're like, oh, I know this person from this movie or this TV show. So it's really exciting to work with all these really professional people.
I'm excited for you because this is a kind of a big project to undertake, and it's taken you a little while to get it all pulled together. But how does it feel to have a release date coming soon?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been about a year working on the project, from shooting it to editing it and making sure the soundtrack's together. Working with these professional producers and a really crackpot director named D. Mark Grisham. So it's been a very exciting time kind of putting all this together. And, from a funding perspective, sometimes, you need to make sure you have enough money and they go to the right way. So it's been a year in the making, but finally in August, this movie comes out, so we're really excited about it.
What was the most surprising thing for you as you were working on this project? Were there things that kind of came up that you just thought, man, I didn't realize it was going to be this hard?
Yeah, so one of the things that always, when you're putting a project together, you're thinking like, okay, we should be able, when we watch a movie, we're thinking, hey, this is one scene, one take, Jake, and you're out. But you do these multiple scenes, and you have to do them from different perspectives. It could be a perspective from a third person looking at it. It's a perspective, if there's two people in the scene, a view from one of the characters back to the other character. So I think the thing that was kind of, that I didn't know at working on a project like this is all the time and effort it takes to get the different shots and making sure those shots are right, and making sure the colors of the shot are right, and making sure there's consistency with, if in one scene someone had a hat on, you need to make sure that when you shoot it you shoot the same scene, but from a different perspective. They have to have the same hat on. If they have a pen in their hand, they have to have that continuity where that pen's in the same hand. And there's a lot that goes into that to make sure that goes off smoothly.
And there are times that when they're putting a movie together, they make little mistakes. And then as a viewer, when we're watching, we go, oh, hey, look at that. And it's kind of fun to find those, too.
Yeah, it is fun to find those because oftentimes I'll watch a movie and say, well, wait a minute. They showed him buried and he had dirt on him. And then now you see it like he doesn't have dirt. What's going on there? So somebody who's on the staff forgot to work on the continuity to just make sure that everything's the way it is. And we spent some time making sure that was real smooth. And I think for me, just understanding how long it takes to shoot a movie, and we did this in record time. We shot this movie in a matter of 9 days. We shot a lot of pages every single day. We were very organized because, usually movies of this length, of this size, would take, 20, 30 days. But we were able to knock it out in 9, so it worked out real well.
Again, visiting right now with TobinCosten. Not only is he in the movie, he's Deacon Hot Hands in the movie, but you have quite a few hats that you wear. What are some of the other things that you were doing to put together the movie The Reverend Do Wrong Ain't Right?
Well, I was the executive producer of the movie, so that was part of putting the dollars and funds together and utilizing some of my own dollars to make sure that went into this movie. I wrote the story, so that was a really key part of what I was doing, is making sure that, the story was exciting and it was something that's drawing people into the movie. So when you think about a crooked reverend, it's like, oh, no, because there's probably several of those all over the country, unfortunately. But I wanted to make sure this was someone he was crooked, but yet he kind of had a good heart and he wanted to kind of do the right thing, but he was always drawn to trying to make an extra buck, if you will. So making sure that he is somebody that you can dislike and like at the same time, but make sure that, he's somebody that wants to do the right thing at the end and affect change and help people and get people excited about coming, watching this movie and someone that you can kind of relate to. Like, sometimes we as human beings, we don't always make the right decisions, but eventually we come around. And I think this is something that people will see about this story that we put together.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us about it. The movie is coming out in August. Do you have a date in August?
Yes, it's August 7th. It will be out. Reverend Do Wrong Ain't Right. I appreciate your time and your support, and you're always doing so many fantastic things to help help up-and-coming artists and actors and musicians to really get out there. So thank you so much, John, for your time. I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. And again, I'm going to throw a link to all of this on our social media to make it easy for folks to find this. So if they would like to learn more and be ready to see it when it's in the theaters, we're going to have a link to that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
At any given time, there are 1,800 thunderstorms in progress somewhere in the Earth's atmosphere.
Really? That's
1,800.
interesting.
Yeah, so there's always a storm somewhere. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Erosion at the base of Niagara Falls has caused the falls to recede about 7 miles
Whoa.
over the last 10,000 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So Niagara Falls and Niagara.
But that's a lot. 7 miles?
They're estimating that, I think. They're like, it started 7 miles up
It's
the
not
road.
like there's somebody 10,000 years old who saw it and like, hey,
Yeah, back in
this
my
used
day.
to be.
You know, this used to be 7 miles up the road. There's a sign up there that says the birthplace of Niagara Falls. I don't know. I think it's interesting how they calculate things.
Right.
I don't know how that works, so we're going to move on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day. We're getting close to the end of our survey period, and it looks like people like this feature, so it's going to probably stay, Heidi.
That's super.
Heidi's over there working on a little project, trying to blow up the grandiloquent world headquarters. So
No, that's fine. Whatever.
All right.
We'll keep it.
We'll find a place for the other thing you want to do. But here's our grandiloquent word of the day for today. I don't think we've done this one yet. I'm kind of behind because I have to look back and see which ones I've done. Flaneur. Have we done that? I don't think we've done that.
I don't think so.
Flaneur. That is FLANEUR, for those of you keeping track at home. It's a noun, an idle or lounger, a habitual loafer, idle man about the town. So if you're somebody that's just like never really in a big hurry to get anywhere, you got plenty of time to sit around and chat, you may be a flaneur.
I can be kind of a flaneur.
I can from time to time, but then there are other times I'm the exact opposite of that, where I'm going, I've got 19 things to do and time to do about 4 of them, so I got to keep moving. But on days where I get to lounge about a little bit, I do enjoy those days better. So I kind of like to be a flaneur. Your grandiloquent word of the day.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, some weird news for you on a Monday. Oklahoma man captures a 6-foot-long rattlesnake, then suffers a heart attack. Yikes.
Oh.
A man said he had a heart attack 20 minutes after catching a 6-foot-long rattlesnake. Dennis Crow, Steve Booker, and Robert Latonsky were catching rattlesnakes in the Wichita Mountains over the weekend for an upcoming rattlesnake festival.
Oh, that's
in
a good idea.
Apache, Oklahoma. So, they're just out catching some snakes. That's normal, right? They were on their trip. They encountered several snakes measuring more than 6 feet long. In the middle of the trip, 51-year-old Crow started developing some breathing problems. He said, "We were exactly 1 mile away from the pickup when I whispered a little prayer to my maker to let me get down from the mountain and let me see my wife and kids just one more time." The man made the hike down, and then he went to the nearest hospital. He'd suffered a heart attack, had to undergo surgery. There's some photos of him online with a 6-foot rattlesnake. I've never seen a snake that big. I've seen snakes that big. Yeah, he did. I've never seen a rattlesnake that big. I've seen other snakes that big, but yeah, he found a big old snake.
I have no interest in collecting snakes.
No, you don't. A little bit of weird news right there. Brought to you by FirstCupIsFree.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com. By the way, I got to say thank you to Richard. He sent me a bunch of the stuff for the program today, and this is one of the things he sent me. And I think this is really kind of funny. I'm sad for the driver. Teen taking driver's license test crashes through driver's exam building.
Oh, I think I read this one.
This happened, I think it was last Wednesday or maybe the week before that. Again, I've had so much stuff sent in.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
Police say a Minnesota teen accidentally hit the wrong pedal and crashed through her driver's license exam Wednesday.
How embarrassing would that
Buffalo,
be?
Minnesota, I believe is where this happened. 17-year-old girl was in the process of taking a road test. She inadvertently put the vehicle in drive instead of reverse and then hit the gas and went over the curb, struck the building, and then into the building.
Oh, man.
The examiner, a 60-year-old woman, was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver was not injured. No injuries reported to anybody in the building. The building and the vehicle were significantly damaged. No charges are expected to be filed. And she did not pass the test.
No, she did not pass.
So sorry.
Poor thing. Oh, how embarrassing.
I would just feel so dumb. That's why we call it your moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
John and Heidi.
More weird news right now, courtesy of FirstCupIsFree.com. 3 boys from Mississippi find part of a mastodon jawbone. How cool would that be?
What's a mastodon?
Well, it's a dinosaur. They were they were out messing around, and the Vicksburg Post reports 2 brothers and a cousin made a discovery on plowed land in a small community, just outside of the small community and east of the Mississippi River. Newspaper says there were 3 boys on spring break from school. They found something they thought was a log, and then they saw that there were teeth on it. The 2 brothers and the cousin, they reached out to their parents. They found from the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science in Jackson, a paleontologist curator there, George Phillips, confirmed this is the lower left jawbone of a mastodon. So they say
I hope they know where that was at now so they can go back and look for the rest of that dinosaur.
Well, it's huge, so it's not like they're just dragging it around. They found it, went and got help. Anyway, they say finding a mastodon's lower jaw is very extraordinary. So I've got a link to that story. It's a really cool story. Thank you again to Richard for sending that and several other stories that we had today. He also sent us the good news, which is on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap up with good news, and we have some today. Thank you again for sending that in. We've got good news courtesy of Odiva, the monthly subscription for Ladies Monthly Visitor. All the details at radiosavings.com. A Tennessee man speaks after 31 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. How sad would that be?
Oh, I would be. Oh, my gosh.
He spent 30 years in jail for a crime that he did not commit, and he finally had a chance to speak to reporters. His name, Lawrence McKinney. He was awarded $1 million from the Tennessee Board of Claims.
That's nowhere near enough.
He says it's been a long fight. His attorney, Jack Lowry, said he'll finally have a clear record, and he was awarded $1 million last week, but he says the award money won't really change his way of living. He'll continue to go to church, and he'll now visit prisons and retirement homes, doing what he was doing,
right.
spreading the good word. And it says his money, at his insistence, went in an annuity he can draw for the rest of his life. It'll spread things out that way. It was his decision to do it that way to make it so he wouldn't just spend all the money. He wanted to have a guarantee for the rest of his life.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
It's a good idea.
He needs to, because he wasn't able to earn himself a retirement fund.
Exactly.
So.
He was wrongfully convicted of rape and burglary in 1978.
Oh, my gosh.
He went to prison, was released from prison in 2009 when he was finally shown to be innocent, thanks to DNA. And he just finally spoke after all of this
that is
done.
Absolutely terrible.
So.
And there is no amount of money in the world that can give him his life back. He's lost the majority of his life, and that is horrible.
Well, 30 years. That is crazy. So I've got a link to that whole story. That's our good news, that he's been released and things are going to go well. I just think that's really sad. I want to say thank you again to Richard for sending that, and also thank you to others who send things in. I love it when people do that. One of the things that we really like is when people send in their Dear John letters, and right now, you know how many I have sitting in the queue waiting?
None.
0. We're done. If you've got a Dear John letter that you'd like to submit for this week, that would be fantastic. We'd love to have yours. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just go back and find one in the archives. We'll have somebody send one in. If you'd like to submit a Dear John letter, you can submit that. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show is where you'll do that. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks again for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.